touchdown in the last 14 quarters. The main man on the defense has been number 95, Michael Carter. He's a nose tackle, and he's played that position as well as anybody has over the last 6 weeks. They'll try to get Dickerson out of the running game. They don't want the Rams to run the ball. They want to invite Dieter Brock to throw the ball. They don't feel that the Rams can beat them featuring the passing game. Offensively, well, they're going to run Wendell Tyler and Roger Craig. Wendell has a bad knee, so we'll see how much he'll play. They're going to force the 49ers to throw the ball deep by playing their receivers very closely on short patterns.
These two teams have been meeting twice a year, going back to 1950 when the All-American Football Conference merged the 49ers with the National Football League. There have been many very important games, and this is certainly one of them as we look deep to Carl Monroe, who raced 95 yards against the Washington Redskins with the opening kickoff a week ago. Mike Lansford, barefooted Mike Lansford to kick off, and the crowd is very loud. Derek Harmon. And Harmon out to the 25-yard line, taken there by Mark Giroux. And here comes Montana. Top rated all time in the NFL for the season, passing just under 60%, 19 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, second in the NFC, and you would think most people would be happy with that. But again, as we mentioned at the top of the show, when you compare Montana to Montana, it's not one of his best years. Last week against Washington, the special teams did it there, and the defense, as they have been doing over the past 3 games, as Montana went 11 of 22 for 119 yards. First and 10, the 49ers. So reverse to Jerry Rice. The rookie, #1 draft pick from Mississippi Valley State is off. Flag is down back at the 30-yard line. It was fun to watch. They'll bring it back.
Well, Leroy Irvin, the cornerback on the right side for the Rams, got caught inside. That's the reason that reverse went outside for a touchdown. But while he got caught inside, he also got clipped.
That one would have been nice to have.
Illegal use of the hand. Number 87 on the offense. Still first down.
Dwight Clark. The reverse was Solomon to Rice. Clark, illegal use of hands.
Here you see Leroy Irvin going inside, which is a no-no for the support man on the outside, but he gets clipped by Clark.
He was mauled by Clark. They back up the 49ers by 5. The down remains the same. It's first down at 15, but the Niners are back to the 20-yard line.
I'm surprised to see the Rams playing a 4-man defensive front.
Rice in motion. Roger Craig. Hit by Irvin. The cornerback stepped up and took Roger Craig right at the line of scrimmage. As a matter of fact, Craig is going to lose a couple. As we look at the ordinary set of the 3-4 of the Rams, they were lined up, however, in a 4-down a moment ago. They do that in a passing situation. They go 4-1-6. There is the secondary. Gary Green, of course, former Pro Bowler with Kansas City. And Leroy Irvin having a fine year for these Los Angeles Rams defensively. Second down and 18. Montana. Look to Tyler, who's playing with a very sore knee tonight. He doesn't handle it as he's hit by Leroy Irvin.
Well, it's hard to tell the way the Rams are going to play the 49ers because of that penalty on first down. But the first time they played each other this year, the Rams blitzed the 49ers early in the game, and Montana burned them. Then the Rams went to the zone defense for the rest of the game, and Montana sort of picked them apart. Now, most of the teams this year who've had success against the 49ers has placed a lot of pressure on Montana, and they blitzed them a lot, and they played their receivers very, very, very close.
Third down, extremely long yardage. Roger Craig single setback. Craig underneath with blockers in front. Good pursuing, hustling defense by the Rams as Craig is stopped up at the 25-yard line. It'll bring up fourth down, and the punting unit will come on for the 49ers. That means Max Runninger, as Henry Ellard, the all-time leading punt returner in NFL's history for average, is on the field. Leading the league this year with over 14 yards. Deadly return man. Ellard from the 25. He slips. and still gets back out over the 35-yard line. The Rams bring out the offensive unit, and here comes Dieter Brock. Listed as a rookie, but he had 11 great years up in the Canadian Football League before coming to the Rams this season. Passed for nearly 35,000 yards, 2 times the CFL MVP. He has struggled this year. He's thrown for 11 touchdowns, has had 13 interceptions. Last week, 5 of 10 against New Orleans, 46 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, and he was sacked 6 times by the Saints in a loss. On 1st and 10, Brock is back, and he's buried inside the 30-yard line. Well, Michael Carter was there. Todd Shell was there. Board was there. Any one of them could have the sack.
That's the problem we mentioned at the top of the show. Tony Slayton is starting for the injured Doug Smith at center for the Rams, and he has one of the all-time best playing over his head in Michael Carter. They're going to, well, they have a problem tonight trying to stop Michael.
Doug Smith was diagnosed last week as having a concussion. Friday, he worked out for the Rams. He had some problems, so he is unable to go tonight, and it is Tony Slayton at center, that key spot on the offensive line. 2nd down, 17. That's Redden, who gets out over the 35-yard line, past the original line of scrimmage to the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Well, that's a problem the Rams will have, Joe, I believe, is that even though they know they must pass the ball to beat the 49ers, you can't change the personality of your football team. When you've worked all spring and all in the summer to be a running football team, it's hard at this late part of the season to all of a sudden turn it around and try to be a passing team.
But they're professionals. They should have a good offensive attack through the air.
Barry Redden is the offensive setback for the Rams. Dickerson is on the sidelines. Whistle had blown. Somebody better tell Jeff Fuller he was about to put one on Dieter Brock.
Delay of the game on the offense. Still 3rd yard.
This has to go directly to the quarterback in his communication with the sidelines. 5-yard penalty against the Rams.
But you know, sometimes the sidelines and press box, they're not coordinated, and the quarterback gets to play late. And Dieter Brock, I still think he's a good quarterback. He's just working with an archaic offense.
3rd down and 13. Barry Redden. Jeff Fuller was first for the 49ers as Redden is dropped right at the line of scrimmage, and the Rams will punt. Redden, of course, filled in for Eric Dickerson well during preseason, while Dickerson remained a holdout. By the way, in case you have not heard, Dickerson has signed a new 4-year contract. He had 1 more year to go at $550,000. They announced today that they had agreed to not sign the contract, but they had agreed on terms for the next 4 years to carry him through 1989. And I imagine there are a few more zeros tacked on. Hatcher hits a beauty. Dana McLemore is at the 19-yard line. Flag is down at the line of scrimmage as McLemore is down at the 25-yard line. Our referee tonight is Red Cashin. We have an illegal man downfield. 49ers had the football at the 25. Do they want to keep it there, or would they like to give Dana McLemore an opportunity for a return? They would like McLemore to have an opportunity for the return. That was not a bad punt by Hatcher, who leads the NFL in net yardage with 37.8.
Ineligible downfield. Number 59 on the offense. Still 4th down.
Mark Giroux, a little too much hustle. Hatcher stays on, the rookie 3rd-round draft pick from Clemson. And now Dana McLemore moves up to about the 25-yard line of the 49ers. 49ers defeated the Rams earlier in the year, 28-14. They blew them away in the first half down in Anaheim. They had a 28-0 lead. Rams were never in that one. Hatcher, another beauty. McLemore. A flag goes down. It was Jerry Gray, the rookie 1st-round pick from Texas, who really pounded in to McLemore.
Marker down.
I did not see the fair catch signal, and the Rams are indicating the penalty will be against the 49ers.
Illegal block. Number 32 of the receivers. 10 yards. First down and 10.
Carl Monroe with an illegal block. So the 49ers will be back deep into their own territory following the penalty. They'll have the ball at their own 8-yard line when we come back.
What do you do when you already build one of the best production sports cars in the world? If you're Nissan, you build it even better. You widen the track, reduce air turbulence, dramatically improve its already legendary handling and performance. No wonder Motor Trend magazine called this new 300ZX the best all-around Z car ever built. When you're talking performance, the name is Nissan.
You might think a computer that doesn't cost a lot doesn't do a lot. But look at the IBM PC Junior. It's low-priced, but runs over 1,000 of the best programs written for the IBM PC. Programs for the classroom and powerful programs for business. And with PC Junior's extra memory attachment, it can run over 1,000 more programs. PC Junior from IBM. Turn a little money into a lot of computer.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Dogs. No, actually, Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, ask for Bud Light.
Yours? No.
Because everything else
Give me a light. Showtime.
is just a light.
The Rams had 4 or 5 extra players out on the field trying to determine whether the 49ers, what kind of an offense they were going to bring out on the field, and the officials escorted the extra Ram players off the field and were ready to go. 49ers first and 10, the ball at the 8-yard line. 2 tight ends now for the 49ers, Russ Francis, 81, and John Frank, number 86, Roger Craig, with a single setback. Montana gets to Craig, who's down at the 2-yard line, but gets back on his feet and races back out close to the original line of scrimmage. Mel Owens was there defensively for the Rams.
Well, the receivers are covered quite well downfield. That's why Joe had to drop the ball off over to Roger Craig. The Rams are mixing things up defensively. This time they went back to their normal 3-4 defensive set.
I'm noticing, Joe, that the Rams linebackers aren't dropping back in that 10-yard zone to cover the passes. Their outside backers are staying close to the line of scrimmage so that Roger Craig can't get those swing passes that he's become noted for.
Craig lost 1. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Montana from the end zone. Upfield, and Jerry Rice is there. Rice out to the 28-yard line. First down, 49ers. Jerry Rice on a deep out move. Montana with a strong throw.
Beautifully timed throw. That's why these guys practice day in and day out. Just as Mr. Rice turns around, the ball is in the air, and it's going to get on him within a matter of a second or two as he turns.
And
good throwing by Joe.
You saw him turn Gary Green, one of the fine cornerbacks in the league, completely around. A 21-yard pickup. First and 10, the 49ers. They're at their own 28-yard line. Carl Monroe, 32, joins Roger Craig in the backfield for the 49ers. Underneath to Craig. And Craig to the 35-yard line. Gain of almost 8. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Jim Collins made the stop. Craig came into the night with 72 receptions. If he gets 4 for the night, he will be the NFL's leading receiver. He has 3 already. He also has ended the night 834 yards rushing, 843 yards receiving, as he is looking for NFL history to become the first player ever to rush for 1,000 and receive for 1,000. This is Craig again. And this time held short of the first down. Jim Collins, pursuing from the offside, made the stop.
That was an interesting lineup for the 49ers. They had Bubba Paris, their 300-pound offensive tackle, lined up outside of the tight end on that play.
3rd down and 1.
I missed that. I guess that was a heck of an offensive formation.
They're doing it again.
Yep. That makes him eligible, doesn't it? Tyler, and he'll have the first down out over the 40-yard line to the 41.
Well, he wouldn't have been eligible that time because Freddie Solomon, the wide receiver, was up on the line of scrimmage.
But all he had to do was take one step back, and we would have had a 300-pound potential receiver on the line of scrimmage. What would we call him?
Well, we can't call him the fridge.
Well, we can call him the bigger fridge. The double door. First and 10, the 49ers at the 41-yard line. Time remaining in the first quarter. We have no score. Great pass. Montana right on a line to Jerry Rice, and Rice has another 49er first down at the 36-yard line. Rams into tonight. 5th in the NFL in defense, 4th against the rush, 11th against the pass.
The Rams going to have to do something to throw Montana's timing off. They're either going to have to bump the receivers better at the line of scrimmage or get some pressure back on Joe. Right now, Joe is passing the football with a good rhythm.
Pair of big ones for the rookie from Mississippi Valley State, Jerry Rice. He has 44 yards on his 2 receptions. Montana, this time he underthrows. Dwight Clark was there. He was open. Montana didn't get it there. It'll bring up second down and 10. Dwight Clark into tonight, 44 receptions. Early in the year, we were here. And against the Seattle Seahawks, Dwight Clark became the all-time leading receiver for these 49ers, and this is 7th year, breaking the great Billy Wilson's record. Second down and 10. Monroe, 32, joins Roger Craig in the backfield. Dwight Clark, split right. Solomon, top of your screen. Looking for Solomon deep. Leroy Irvin went up for the interception, and Solomon almost got that on the deflection.
The old Leroy didn't quite time that leap the way he'd have liked to. He got up in the air just a little bit early. If you watch Leroy, he leaves the ground just a hair too soon, really, to get his hands on the football.
Needed a sky hook to hang up there.
Yeah.
When you get down around that end zone and you're a defensive back, you do get a little antsy. You want to make sure you get it out of that receiver's hands. Irvin, as I mentioned earlier, having a fine year for the Rams. Third down, 10. Violent collision is out of the backfield. Comes Carl Monroe, short of the first down on the reception. It'll be 4th down, and we should see Ray Wersching.
But that was a good tackle by the rookie out of Texas, Jerry Gray. The Rams are really high on that young man. They say he's going to be a fine defensive back soon.
Runninger comes out. It would be about a 47-yard field goal attempt. We are not seeing Wersching, who's not having one of his better years, but his career best is 53, and he has hit for 45 this year. But Runninger looks to put it out of bounds. There is no win, so we don't quite understand it. So, what would have been about a 47-yard field goal turns into a 49er punt. And they have marked it at the 16-yard line. We'll be back.
Don Corey, boy, if he isn't pound for pound just about the best in the ring today. I haven't been watching boxing.
He's going to go up, I guess, in weight. He might go right up to the top the way he is. Rams first down and 10. Conservative move by Bill Walsh. Not going with the field goal from some 47 to 48 yards out. Settled for a 16-yard punt. This is Barry Redden, who's in the backfield now with Dickerson, and he's piled up at the line of scrimmage. Dwayne Board was there defensively to make the stops. Dieter Brock came down from Canada, Joe, this past year, but boy, the Rams have had some quarterbacks over the years.
Well, they haven't been able to find anyone that could play consistently for them, and I can't understand why. I think it's just poor scouting. We've had quarterbacks throughout the league that have been around. These are 11 quarterbacks since 1974 that have played for the Los Angeles Rams. That's poor scouting.
Second down and 9 for the Rams. Dieter Brock is back. Dieter Brock is down. Dwayne Board is there for his 10th sack, actually 10.5 sacks on the year, the best pass rushing defensive lineman. for these 49ers. Sack is all the way back at the 13-yard line, and Ford just comes in almost untouched. Pankey is starting over there at left tackle. The Rams actually have one extra offensive lineman if they get in trouble tonight. We talked about Doug Smith not being able to go. The only extra lineman they have tonight is Bill Bain. 3rd and 14. Draw play to Redden. Michael Carter reigns all over Redden, and Bill Walsh's move not going with the field goal, along with, of course, you run the risk of having a block, as paid off rather well, as the Rams will have to punt and from their own end zone.
Well, Joe Glecko is having an excellent year, but I don't think I've ever seen a nose tackle dominate a game as much as I've seen Michael Carter dominate the games I've seen in recent weeks.
Well, once he got over that hamstring pull in the early part of the season, he has been the dominant part of this defense. Dale Hatcher to punt. Oh, and Hatcher's hit a beauty. He carries McLemore back to the 42-yard line of the 49ers. And he was high enough to get the good coverage downfield. The 49ers will have a good field position, but without Hatcher, it could have been a lot better. This Ram offensive team is going to get paranoid. They've been attacked by the media in Los Angeles. Well, actually, they've moved to the tune of -2 yards thus far in the night. And we have 4:43 remaining in the first quarter, but still no score. Critical game for the Rams to lead the 49ers Western Division of the NFC by 1 game. This is Roger Craig, left side. Piled up there after a pickup of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
It's an interesting defensive deployment that the Rams are using. Again, they're using 4 down linemen, and they have a 5th defensive back, Jerry Gray, in the game for one of their linebackers. They're playing 5 defensive backs on 1st down, and I'm sure that's because of Roger Craig.
The 49ers are 8-5 thus far in the season. They've won 5 of the last 6. The Rams are 9-5. They've lost 4 of their last 6 after opening the season 7-0. 49ers won the first game 28-14. And this is Roger Craig. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. Surges to midfield. Hit there by Johnny Johnson. Rams at 9-4. Having lost 4 of their last 6. And slow getting up is Jerry Gray, the rookie from Texas. But when you talk to the Rams and you ask them where the problems lie, they don't seem to have the answer. Like every team, of course, they've been bothered with injuries. But when you look at a team that got off to a 7-0, well, they have really struggled over the past 6 weeks. Those are the standings. And, of course, the first item in a tiebreaker within the division is head-to-head. And the 49ers have already defeated the Rams once this season. Joe Montana, Super Bowl MVP of Super Bowl 19 this past year, comes up to the line of scrimmage. The 49ers have a 3rd down and 15. The ball right at midfield. 3rd and 5, brother, as Craig picks it up to the 40-yard line. Roger Craig, and that was classical Craig. Over the right side, sniffing the 1st down marker, putting the head down and just bulling for it.
This is actually a forward pass. Goose, I guess it's just like a running play, huh?
Yeah, I guess it is. It's an under handoff, but it's forward, so I guess it is a pass.
The old shovel pass.
Well, extends Craig's NFL lead as a receiver.
Bears used it effectively yesterday. 1st down and 10. Gus Francis, the big tight end, slips at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Roger Craig, by the way, the leading receiver now in the NFL. He's got 4 already this evening. He has 76 on the year. Gus Francis, by the way, is having his best year as a 49er. He had 35 receptions into the night. He just picked off his 36th.
It's funny you saw Francis fall. This field is in probably the best condition I've ever seen it, but even when Candlestick is in great condition, it's not a good field. As you know, it's filled in. It used to be the Bay here, and it just never has taken well.
2nd down and 10 as Craig goes in motion. Big opening for Tyler. And he is tripped up. A good tackle by Nolan Cromwell, or Tyler might have taken it all the way to the end zone. Tyler gets about 6. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
That's one of those plays where your wide receiver, your job is to try to get to the safety in time, and unfortunately Dwight Clark just couldn't get there in time for Wendell. Otherwise, Wendell would have been in the end zone.
Carl Monroe, 32, joins Roger Craig as a setback for the 49ers. Monroe in motion. Montana will go down. Looking downfield, trying to find Monroe. Monroe well covered. And down goes Montana. Dennis Harrison in on that stop. And Sean Miller.
Boy, what a difference a night make. Last night, I think we had about 30 points by now.
Right. Isn't that something?
Well, we had beautiful weather last night, and it's beautiful weather again tonight, too. Wind really is no factor tonight.
Max Runiger. Looking for the corner. Oh, he may have something working. He does. Runiger has it out at the 5-yard line. The Rams deep in their own territory once again. Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, you'll see Donald Curry against Milton McCrory for the under.
Oh, you're talking about a fighter to knock out a fighter who has never been knocked down in his career. An undefeated fighter at that. Boy.
Rams pinned up against their own goal line once again. Dickerson and Redden, 2 setbacks for the Rams. Dickerson, a flag is down.
I'll tell you, one of the reasons they don't get Dickerson into the passing game is they normally line him up about 8 or 9 yards deep. It's pretty hard to go out and catch a pass on Juice being that deep in the backfield.
Ball start, number 75 on the offense.
I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised they don't try to get the ball to him more. You know, his rookie year, he caught 51 passes, and quite often on 3rd down, they'll take him out of the football game. A guy that can run, broken field runner like Eric Dickerson, I would never have him off the field.
Observe Pankey moving the penalty half the distance to the goal. Down remains the same as 1st down at about 12. Dickerson. Ball is loose. The 49ers come out of the pile, and it is Ronnie Lott dancing in the end zone. And I believe the Rams will maintain possession. Ruling, his progress was stopped. The whistle had blown.
It looked like somebody tried to pick.
San Francisco recovered the fumble.
Yeah.
Number 90 of San Francisco helped the runner.
Yeah.
It'll be 1st down and 10.
Todd Shell helped Ronnie Lott get to his feet. The fumble recovery stands. And the 49ers will have a 1st down goal to go. And we'll watch it from our reverse angle camera. You'll see it much better. Dickerson had no chance. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. Rams offensive line doing nothing. But he lost that ball before he was even hit. Ronnie Lott is there, and Todd Shell tried to give him a boost. And with the penalty, 49ers will have the ball at the 11-yard line.
He never had a handle on that ball. It's not wet tonight. You'd wonder why it slipped out of his hand.
Normally you're looking for a place to run. You're looking at what arm you want to put the ball under, and 49ers are pushing these guys into the backfield, and he dropped the ball.
Roger Craig, Guy McIntyre, an offensive lineman, was leading Roger Craig. He set off this whole refrigerator idea a year ago when the 49ers used Guy McIntyre in the backfield against the Chicago Bears in the NFC Championship game. Now McIntyre's coming out, and Wendell Tyler's coming back in. Only Wendell Tyler, the 49ers, has a higher rate of fumbles than Dickerson. Got them both on the same field tonight. 2nd down and 8. And they happen to be 2 great runners. This is Tyler. Tyler banged right at the line of scrimmage. He'll squeak out a couple of yards. Johnny Johnson there defensively for the Rams.
But you know, when we talk about great runners, I think being a great runner should be an all-around runner, and that means holding on to the football too.
Fumble or not, Eric Dickerson is one of the greatest runners this game has ever seen.
Time runs out here in the first quarter. Still no score from San Francisco. When we come back, the 49ers will have a 3rd and 7 at the 8-yard line of the Rams. This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Nissan, builders of technologically advanced cars. Simpson watching the Rams and the 49ers from Candlestick Park in San Francisco. The 49ers 8-5 on the season. The Rams are 9-4, both in the NFC West, of course. A win tonight for the 49ers, and they would be in total control of their own future as far as the divisional title is concerned. 3rd down and 6. Montana looks in the end zone. Dwight Clark was there. Touchdown. Perfect lead by Montana to Dwight Clark. Clark's 7th touchdown of the season. And let's look at it again. Montana with a lot of time. Good protection for him. A look from the reverse angle. Big Dwight Clark. Quite a target in that end zone, and Montana likes to use him down here. Got behind Johnny Johnson. And Montana had it right there. Rushing for the conversion. And the 49ers lead it 7-0. Rams, incidentally, were -2 yards offensively in the first quarter.
And judging by the penetration the Rams defensive line got on that PAT, I think I understand why Bill Walsh didn't go for the field goal from 47 yards. This special teams of the Rams, Gil Haskell is their special team coach, and they do an excellent job.
Yeah, they sure do. Maybe they should change him over to offensive coordinator. You know, in these perfect weather conditions, I still don't believe they turned down a 47-yard field goal attempt. That's telling me the Wersching is not into it this season.
Those are the stats from the first quarter. For the Rams, with the sacks in there, -13. -2 total yards for the first quarter. This was a team that was blown away by New Orleans last week, 29-3. They gave up 9 sacks. They finally got Dieter Brock out of there in the fourth quarter. He'd been down 6 times. And their offense is struggling once again tonight. Ron Brown is deep, dangerous return man, leading the NFL with a 33.6 average. A couple of weeks ago, you might recall, he took 2 of them back for TDs against Green Bay. Wersching to kick off. Charlie White is back there with Ron Brown. And between White and Brown, out of the end zone touchback, Ron Brown came over, and Charlie White was going to let him take it. A little lack of communication back there, or quite possibly a good return, because that ball could have been fielded at about the 4-yard line. In any event, the Rams offensive unit back out on the field.
They hate to see a play like that occur in the National Football League. You can believe it in Sandlot and junior high school, but here in the National Football League, that's inexcusable.
Dickerson, single setback. That's the big tight end, David Hill. And he's hit at the 25-yard line, a gain of 5. Dwight Hicks up there from the cornerback position, where he is, I guess, getting a little more accustomed to residing. They moved him there several weeks ago. They moved Ronnie Lott to free safety. Ronnie Lott could be an all-pro free safety. The jury's still out as to whether all-pro Dwight Hicks as a safety man is going to be an all-pro Dwight Hicks at the cornerback position. Rams have a 2nd down and 5. Dickerson. Michael Carter was there first.
Well, everyone keeps asking me what's wrong with Dickerson. Is it still the effects of missing training camp? I say, hey, you just take a good look at what's happening here. He's getting hit in the backfield. When he's trying to run in the middle, his linemen are in the backfield. When you're getting tackled by down linemen, your linemen are not doing the job. You should be being tackled by linebackers and safeties or cornerbacks.
Third down and 3. Redden is in for Dickerson. Brock gets it to Ellard, and Ellard will have a first down out of the 40-yard line to the 42. Carlton Williamson there defensively for the 49ers.
It's been said Dieter Brock may have a difficult time seeing from the pocket here in the National Football League. He is 6 foot, and these defensive players are mighty tall, but it still comes down to that offensive line. If they can pass protect just as they did on this play, Dieter's going to get the ball out there. He's throwing at a better than 59% completion rate this year. He's a good passer.
Officially, Brock is 2 for 2 as the Rams pick up their first down of the night. Dickerson. No chance at all. Todd Shell shook off his block behind the line of scrimmage, and he nailed Dickerson for about a yard loss. Dickerson, of course, set an NFL single-season record of 2,105 yards a year ago, held out during the training camp. Did not play until the 3rd game of the season when he went against Seattle and had 150 yards rushing. As a matter of fact, he's had a phenomenal, even though short career on Monday Night Football. We'll tell you about it in a few moments. Second down and 11. A rifle by Dieter Brock, and Ellard has a first down inside the 35-yard line of the 49ers.
You give that man some time back there in that pocket. He can throw the rock. That was a man coverage that time, and Henry Ellard just turned the corner around, was wide open. Nice out pattern.
Henry Ellard is working against Dwight Hicks, and as Frank says, Dwight may not be overly comfortable over here, especially against a receiver like Ellard, who leads the NFL in punt returns. He's quite shifty.
Dwight Hicks is in the habit of laying way off the potential receiver. Plays way back. We saw it against Denver, and we watched it against Seattle. Dickerson just bullying his way inside the 30. He'll get 5-6 yards out of that. Tina Turner made the stop for the 49ers. It'll bring up second down and 4.
Well, that's the first good gain they made on first down rushing so far, so that may be an indication of good things to come for the Rams.
You notice Michael Carter was not in the game on that play.
Ron Brown goes left. Ellard goes right. Ron Brown inside the 15-yard line, and the possessor of a gold medal from the '84 Olympics in the 4x100 relay, Ron Brown, drives inside. Dieter Brock was right there with it, and another Ram first down. This is a different-looking Ram offensive team than we watched in the first quarter.
Well, this is a straight slant pattern. Now, it's sort of perplexing that a guy who's the fastest man in the NFL, who obviously has good hands, has only caught 12 passes this year.
Brown left again. Ellard right. Rep. Tough to work in there. That's Michael Carter territory. Manu Tuiasosopo in on that stop. Gain of about a yard. It'll be second down and 9.
Pretty impressive offensive drive for the Rams so far.
Both wide receivers deployed left. Ellard and Brown. Brown in motion. Brock trying to get it into the end zone to Tony Hunter. Good defensive play. Tina Turner. He's like a defensive back. He's very agile, very quick. Not large in size for a linebacker, at about 220 pounds, but he can really move around a football field. Third down and 9 for the Rams. 3 wide receivers now for the Rams. Michael Young, the rookie from UCLA, comes in. The setback will be Barry Redden. '49ers with the 4-down lineman. Was it a possession? That was Michael Young. Yes, it's ruled a completion at the 9-yard line, short of the first down. Mike Lansford will come on 4th down for the field goal attempt. He's 17 of 22 this year.
You may wonder why the Rams ran a little slant pattern that time when they needed 9 or 10 yards. Actually, Ronnie Lott fooled Dieter Brock. Lott walked up to the line, faked a safety blitz, and Lott and Brock audibleized to that slant pattern.
25-yard attempt. Steve Dills is the holder. And Lansford has the Rams on the scoreboard with 8:52 remaining in the second quarter. The 49ers over Los Angeles, 7-3.
Yeah, so do I, unfortunately. It wasn't one of our best. We lost it.
Bad scouting, huh, Joe?
I think it was.
They got you there.
Bad offense at the time, too.
I think people might be interested. I think it was really a hamstring that got you out of this game more than a knee, wasn't it, Joe?
Well, it really was. Did have the knee problems throughout the career, but did sever 2 hamstring muscles in my left leg in a skiing accident. And, well, when that happened, that was about it.
Rams are on the scoreboard. I got a 25-yard field goal from Mike Lansford. Set to kick off now. Carl Monroe is deep. Derek Harmon is back with Monroe. Here comes Carl Monroe. And Monroe spins out to the 31-yard line. Hit there by Kevin Green. They've got a beauty coming up a week from tonight. The New England Patriots are also 10-4, but they'll play the Bears on Saturday. So that game a week from tonight could be for share of first place and quite possibly for sole possession of first place. First down. Roger Craig on a very clever little draw execution. Montana actually just moving by Craig and reaching back to give Craig the ball, and Craig gets 9 yards out of it. Take a look at it. You'll see Montana almost go by Craig. Just kind of ease it in the backside, if you will. That's a cute little thing.
It's cute, but it's dangerous as could be. I don't understand what merit it has, really.
Well, it gained 9 yards.
Yeah, well, that time it did, sure. If you fumble it once in a season, it's too many times.
2nd and 1. Craig trying to get the first down. Very close to it. Wiltshire, the outside linebacker that was there first for the Rams.
Well, that was an interesting choice by Craig. He had a chance to go inside of Wiltshire and get a cinch first down, but he thought if he can get by Wiltshire to the outside, he can gain more yards, and it may have, well, they still got the first down.
What a year Roger Craig is having. He's had 3 great years. 3rd round draft pick 3 years ago. Changed the whole nature of the 49ers offense. 1st and 10, the 49ers at their 41-yard line. Montana, Russ Francis. Francis to the 46-yard line of the Rams. Wiltshire there defensively for Los Angeles.
I have never seen a group of linebackers on a pass play so close to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, you know they're really concerned about Mr. Craig back there. That's the reason they're doing it.
They bring those outside linebackers a lot on the pass. Owens has 9 sacks coming into tonight. Wiltshire has 10.5. Tyler, they found a little opening and just exploded inside the Rams 40-yard line. Hit by Owens and Collins, but not until he gets about 8 out of it. Polaroid pictures on the sidelines. They've been using these for years. They snap it just before the ball is snapped, and then the offensive unit takes a look at the defensive sets, or the defensive units will look at the offensive set of the Rams, as the case would be right now.
You see, from the sidelines, you don't get a good view, so those pictures are taken from upstairs in the press box, then rushed down to the field.
2nd and short yardage. Roger Craig will have a first down inside the 35 to the 33. First down, 49ers. And we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
This is Channel 7, KABC TV, Los Angeles.
Critical game between the Rams and the 49ers. The Rams leading the division, the Western Division of the NFC, with a 9-4 record. 1 game ahead of the 49ers at 8-5. The 49ers have defeated the Rams once already this season. We have less than 6 minutes remaining in the first half, and the 49ers are leading 7-3. They're on a drive, however, at the Rams 33, first down and 10. Montana underneath to Jerry Rice. They had blown the whistle. Rice spun out of the tackler's hands. Crowd naturally is not going to like it. Mel Owens and Carl Eckern both had hands on Jerry Rice, and the whistle blew. Look at it once again. It was a good shot into Rice. And there he is in the arms of Eckern and Owens. And the whistle is blown. Second down and 4. Montana back again. Intended for Monroe, incomplete. Montana held it a long time, and he paid for it. He took quite a shot. Gary Jeter colliding with Montana.
Well, he did take a shot that time. The Rams came with an all-out blitz. That's why he had one-on-one to Monroe out there and barely missed him. But they're going to have to put pressure on Joe Montana. Any good quarterback in the NFL, given time back there, will pick you apart. A Ram victory tonight, and they would clinch at least a wild card spot in the playoffs, and they would look awfully good for a divisional championship. Third down and 4. Montana underneath again, this time to Rice, and again Rice was in the arms of the defender just as he got the ball. Leroy Irvin was right there, but he gets the completion short of the first down. And this time we will see Wershing. Ray Wershing, the field goal kicker, on 11 of 18 on the year. Had some misses from in close. This from 30 yards against Seattle. This from 41 and 31 yards earlier this year against the Rams. This will be an attempt of 48 yards. 42 yards, rather. Flag is down, a late flag. Wershing hits from 42 yards out. Holding called against the 49ers. That flag came very late. I thought it was going to be for a personal foul, but it's holding. Here's Red Cashin.
Holding, number 86 on the offense, still fourth down.
John Frank holding. Now, will we see the punting team or the field goal, and out comes Max Runniger. This would have been a 47-yard effort by Wershing. And earlier in the game, we saw that Bill Walsh did not want to go with the field goal from that far. And that must be why. So Runniger is there. He's very good at kicking it out of bounds. Pick it up. And it takes a tremendous Ram bounce. It hit inside the 5 and bounced all the way out close to the 15-yard line, and that is a very unusual bounce on a natural surface. They usually will die, or at the worst take about a 2 or 3 yard bounce. The Rams get a break. They'll have the football near their own 15-yard line. Rams and the 49ers. So many great names have taken part in this contest over the years. When you think back to some of them, Joe Perry, Tank Younger for the Rams, Dan Towler, Hugh McElhaney, of course, Norm Van Brocklin, Bob Waterfield, Wyatt Tittle, all the way back to 1950. And so many times it has meant so much as it does tonight. 4:02 remaining in the half. The Rams trailing the 49ers 7-3. They have a 1st and 10 near their own 15-yard line. Dickerson colliding with Ricky Ellison, the leading tackler for these 49ers through 13 games. Dickerson, gain of a couple as they mark it close to the 18-yard line. There's Ricky Ellison, 5th round draft pick in '83, instant starter and developed into quite a leader. Second down and 7. Brock overthrows the tight end, Tony Hunter, and almost picked off. Ronnie Lott made a diving effort for it. Not a well-thrown ball there, Joe.
No, it wasn't. He had good pass protection that time, too. I'm sure Dieter wished he had a chance to throw that one again because Hunter was open briefly. He just flat overthrew him.
Dieter Brock played most of his years with Winnipeg before he was traded to Hamilton last season up in the Canadian Football League. Third down, 7. Over the middle, it goes to the tight end, David Hill, and David Hill is down at the 29-yard line. He'll have a first down. Just a little more than 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Here's David Hill, who had a lot of super years with the Detroit Lions before coming to the Rams in 1983. On first down, Dickerson. Over the left side, he'll get about 3 out of that one.
Tell you something, he's earning that new contract tonight because they're taking shots at him.
Bonhorst made the stop. Bonhorst starting tonight for Michael Walter, who is able to play, but he has been playing for the past few weeks with a broken thumb, and that became infected, and Walter was in the hospital for the past couple of days. So you're looking at Barnhorst in one of those inside linebacking positions. Second and 7. Ellard. Good play. Good effort made by Dwight Hicks, who obviously that play was designed because of the way Hicks will lay deep off the receiver, but Hicks was also up there very quickly. So when we come back, following the 2-minute warning, it'll be third down and 10 for the Los Angeles Rams. 3 timeouts remain for the Rams. First half from San Francisco. The Rams and the 49ers. The Rams have a first and 10 near their own 30-yard line, or rather a third down and 10. Rams offensive unit has settled down here in the second quarter after a very frustrating first quarter in which they had a -2 yards net. Barry Redden is the setback. And there's movement over in the right side. Procedure call against the Rams. Those kinds of things really hurt. Now instead of a third and 10, you're looking at a third and 15, a decidedly different play.
Decidedly different. The receivers have to get deeper. It's going to take the quarterback longer to get rid of the ball. Thus the defense is going to be on him a little more quickly. It does make it a different play.
Gretton. Back to the original line of scrimmage, and we'll see the punting unit now for the Rams. Draw play on a third and 15. 49ers obviously thinking draw right with the Rams. McLemore drops. Like Ellard, a dangerous return man, not having the year that was expected of him, but he's had a couple of great years as a return man for these 49ers. He's able to bring it all the way back and has done so at least once in each of the previous 3 years. Rams letting as much time tick down on that 30-second clock as they can. Hatcher just watching it, finally snaps his fingers. McLemore calls for, executes the fair catch at the 26-yard line. But the 49ers get it back with 1:06 remaining in the half, and the 49ers have 3 timeouts. When we come back at Candlestick Park, 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining in the first half. 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams, and Joe Montana can get a lot of things happening in 1 minute and 6 seconds, and he has 3 timeouts.
Well, this Ram defense is a darn good defense. He has to be careful with where he puts the football.
49ers from their own 27-yard line. Rice, and the rookie, #1 draft pick, comes down with it, stops the clock out at the 43-yard line, and a first down.
I can't believe they say it didn't stop the clock. He went out of bounds. Man knocked him out of bounds.
knocked him out of bounds, and the clock continues to tick away.
Whoops.
Whoa, and Mike Wilcher, nobody there to pick him up. And down goes Montana. The loss is all the way back to the 33-yard line, and this time Montana will use a timeout, and Montana is limping. He was hit solidly by Mike Wilcher, and he is moving painfully to the sidelines. Lines with head coach Bill Walsh. He took quite a shot from Wilcher. It's been a tough year for Montana, no question about it. He's having a superb year as compared to most other quarterbacks around the league, but when you compare him to Montana, well, there's been a lot of criticism of his play. There have been some bizarre accusations that have been running around the Bay Area involving drugs, involving arrests, traffic violations. And of course, when you get right down to it, Montana wasn't, in many cases, even in the area where that was supposed to have happened. He finally had to come public with it, deny all the accusations, as did head coach Bill Walsh. But it's been a very trying, frustrating, and troublesome year for Joe Montana. He is shy, he's introverted, and I know it's been very tough on him. On second down and 20. Dwight Clark is there, and Montana is right on the target, but a flag is down. And it will be holding against the 49ers. And they continue around the area to doubt these 49ers, even though they have won 5 of their last 6 games. Here's the call now by Red Cashin.
Holding. Number 68 on the offense. Still second down.
John Ayers holding. They have won 5 of their last 6, and the one game they lost was by 1 point to Denver, in a game they certainly could have won there. Snowball, of course, fired at the holder, Matt Cavanaugh, distracting him from a short field goal attempt. Second down and 29. Paul Monroe. 49ers being very careful with it, as well they should be with that kind of yardage. Monroe gets to the 30-yard line to bring up third down. Leroy Irvin on the stop there. 15 seconds. Clock's moving. That's the time remaining in the half. Montana for Craig. Irvin took a shot at Monroe as the clock indicates 1 second.
I'm a little surprised the 49ers threw the ball on that play. I thought he'd run the ball and try to run out the clock.
Rams stopped the clock, and you might wonder why. Well, they have the #1 punt returner in the National Football League.
But he'll get no chance to run this punt back with 1 second on the clock. The 49ers will not punt the ball.
Right. Well, I think they were trying to stop it earlier, and they finally got to stop with 1 second. They'll just fall on the football, of course, and the 1 second will expire.
Hey, why not throw a long ball? Why sit down on the football? Really, you're liable to get a penalty down there, a great catch, get a penalty to set up the field goal. Why fall on the ball at this point?
Or have Gary Green or Leroy Irvin run it back for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. 75 yards. I know it's been done, but I'd take my chances in this case.
Bill Walsh in his 7th year. He's won a pair of Super Bowls in his first 6 years. After the '81 season, he was a winner of Super Bowl 16 over Cincinnati, and of course this past year over Miami. Montana will take the snap, drop to one knee, and he does not even have to be touched under the new rule. And time expires here in the first half. The Rams playing the heavily favored 49ers very tough. It's not a thing of beauty to watch, but it is effective on the part of the Rams, particularly their defense. They trail the 49ers 7-3, and we'll be back with our halftime highlights in a moment. We'll be getting the second half underway from Candlestick Park in San Francisco. The 49ers leading the Rams 7-3. The Rams struggled through the first quarter, settled down in the second quarter, and we could have a very interesting second half coming your way. Only touchdown of the first half, it was Montana connecting up with his favorite receiver when he gets down close to the goal line, number 87, Dwight Clark, and it was a good move put on by Clark. He's a big target down there, 6'4". And this time he got behind Johnny Johnson, and he was there for the 6 points. So the long running rivalry between the 49ers and the Rams once again has a lot at stake. 49ers, again, 8-5 into tonight's game, having won 5 of their last 6 games. The Rams are 9-4. They opened the season with 7 straight victories before the 49ers took them 28-14, and they have struggled ever since. They have lost 4 of their last 6, and a week ago against New Orleans, they were literally blown away by the Saints. They lost 29-3, but it was a humiliating loss. Kemp was sacked a total of 9 times. Their entire offensive output was only 164 yards. And everyone was questioning everyone about this Ram team. In the kickoff, Ron Brown and Charlie White. Ray Wershing will get it underway. Sellout crowd, of course, here at Candlestick Park of 61,000 plus. Those 49ers have really turned it around. When the Rams were 7-0 and they met, the 49ers were 3-4. And what a turnaround it's been. They are 1 game back. And, of course, the first tiebreaker within division is head-and-head competition. If the 49ers win tonight, win their final 2 games of the season against New Orleans and the Cowboys, they would win the division. Ron Brown, look out. It's history. Oh, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
No one will even come close to Ron Brown. Just like that, the Rams lead this football game as Ron Brown went 86 yards for the touchdown a couple of weeks ago. He ran 2 of them back against the Green Bay Packers. That's just unreal. When you have that kind of speed, you are an awesome weapon. Let's take a look at it from the end zone. Good effort up in front. Got a block. Good block from Charlie White. He got a good block from Gooman, the all-purpose back. And once he was through that gap, you knew, O.J., no one was going to come close.
Well, the man runs right around 10 flat for the 100 meters, which, as I stated earlier, he's the fastest man in the NFL. It's his 3rd run back for the season.
That will get the 49ers' attention. Lansford for the conversion. We have a new leader from Candlestick Park.
Tell you.
Ron Brown, gold medalist in the '84 Olympics in the 4x100 relay. And he turned on the afterburners, and it was a no-contest sprint. Wershing only put that ball down to about the 17-yard line. And Ron Brown brought it back in a hurry.
Extremely short kickoff. That may be one of the reasons Bill Walsh didn't go for 2 47-yard field goals that he could have gone for tonight.
Monroe is deep for the 49ers. He also can bring it back. He did it last week, and this is a short kick by Lansford. Here comes Monroe. Monroe out over the 20-yard line to the 23. A hustling Rams unit down there. And let's look at it one more time. There were some good blocks by this special team.
Yes, you'll see a few guys. 33, Charlie White, formerly a Heisman Trophy winner. Great block by 44, Mike Gooman. And Ed Brady, number 90, get the last block up here. And, of course, when you give a guy like Ron Brown with that type of speed, any type of room, it's Katie by the door.
Suddenly, the Rams lead the 49ers 10-7. 49ers, their first possession here in the second half at their own 23-yard line. Wendell Tyler, former Ram, close to a first down, perhaps a yard short at the 31-yard line, hit there by Gary Green. Tyler came 3 years ago from the Rams. When the Rams got Eric Dickerson, he became expendable. He had a couple of 1,000-yard seasons with the Rams, and of course was a record-setting back at UCLA. But he has really matured here with the 49ers. Both Tyler and Craig could well go over 1,000 yards rushing this season. Second and short. That's Roger Craig for the first down. And let's take a look at the stats. In the first quarter, LA with -2 yards in that first quarter. They looked very sloppy. Pulled it together a little bit in the second quarter, and particularly on defense. And that's the halftime numbers. And right now, Rams lead the 49ers 10-7. Ron Brown exploding for an 86-yard kickoff return. The opening kickoff here in the second half. Montana, Rice is there. 1 concentration by Montana. He made it look like the run, was able to spot Rice, was able to stay behind the line of scrimmage. I thought he was going to get over it, but the official was right there. 66-yard touchdown.
And the biggest mistake by the Rams on this play is most teams said if Montana is going to scramble, don't let him scramble to the right, because that's when he's at his very best.
There is Rice, the #1 draft pick out of Mississippi Valley State. Nolan Cromwell was trying to offer the coverage. Rice had him beat. But Rice, who had difficulties catching the football in the early going, has been spectacular here tonight. Worshing. That's blocked. It was blocked. And the Rams special teams continue to excel. Sean Miller, I believe, got it. Number 98. Watch him right in the middle, the big man. He's 6'4", and he gets up high. The 49ers have the lead, but they would dearly love to have that conversion. They only lead by a field goal. On kickoff returns. He had the 2 in the Green Bay game a couple of weeks ago. Only Tim Brown of the Eagles have done that before, along with Travis Williams of Green Bay. This will be Brown again, and another short kick from the 10. This time, Brown is dropped at the 24-yard line. Derek Harmon was down there. Let's take a look at Rice on that touchdown pass of 66 yards from Montana. And Rice did what you should always do. He never gave up on Montana. Montana is in a full sprint. Cromwell has kind of eased up a little bit on Rice himself. Montana made it look like he was going to run for the first down, and he fired it to Rice just like that. Touchdown. Rice now 6 receptions, 135 yards, 1 touchdown. Not bad numbers. 1st and 10. Dieter Brock is back. David Hill. And Hill booms out over the 30-yard line. He'll get 7. It'll be 2nd and 3. Todd Shell was there for the 49ers.
It's got to be frightening for a defensive back, Joe, to try to tackle this man. They have him listed at 240 pounds, but believe me, he weighs near 260 pounds.
Well, I know I'd be frightened. Dieter Brock did a real good job, by the way, that time, coming off his primary receiver. They were covered downfield, and he went to Hill late. Good decision by Dieter.
2nd down and 3. Dickerson. Ooh. Dickerson tripped up. It was Fawnhorst out at the line of scrimmage, but Dickerson was able to sprawl for the first down to the 37-yard line.
That was one of the few runs by the Rams tonight where the 49ers didn't get any penetration at any part of the line of scrimmage.
Dickerson has got just about every piece of paraphernalia you could possibly get into a football uniform. It's like he'd play on the moon with that equipment. 1st and 10. Brock rifles a shot out to Ellard. Ellard with about a 9-yard pickup in front of Dwight Hicks. And I'll tell you, Joe, Dieter Brock can really put some smoke on that ball.
He can, and that's the vulnerable area in this defense of the 49ers, the deep out patterns and the deep turn patterns. The linebackers aren't getting good drops. The deep out patterns are the most difficult to throw in football, but Dieter does have a good arm. That's what he should be exploiting, the out pattern.
Particularly in front of Dwight Hicks, who gives you so much room underneath. 2nd down, a long 1 for the Rams. Dickerson. Depending upon the marking, I think he's short of the first down. Upended by John Hardy, who's quite a story for these 49ers. Missed most of the last 2 years with a foot problem, which required surgery. 2nd round pick in '81, but he started a week ago against Washington at the left end position, and he started again tonight. There he is, out of Iowa in his 5th year, as they bring out the sticks for the measurement. And yes, Dickerson is short by that much. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, a good running team philosophy is to wear you down as the game goes on. One thing I must say about this Ram offensive line starting this 3rd quarter, it appears as if they're about to give Eric Dickerson a little running room, and that begins to happen. We may see a real exciting game. That's not That's not Hall of Fame stats right there, but, oh, yes, it is Hall of Fame stats. 10 out of 10. I wonder who's going to get the ball.
3rd and inches. Dieter Brock on the quarterback sneak. And he appears to have the yardage.
We've seen more quarterback sneaks in the last 3 games with the Chicago Bears and the Miami Dolphins and then the Steelers in San Diego. And tonight, I've seen more sneaks in the last 3 games than I have in the whole football season total this year.
We had about 80 points at this time last night. 54-44. Steelers and the Chargers, that sounds like a border dispute. 1st and 10, the Rams at their 47-yard line. Dickerson cuts back, gets hammered every time he does. I mean, he's being hit hard out there tonight.
You know, Frank, you mentioned the fact that Dickerson wears all that equipment. I want to ask O.J. I was watching Marcus Allen on Sunday. Marcus doesn't wear knee pads. He doesn't wear hip pad or rib pads.
Like he's in a wetsuit.
Yeah.
Well, historically, all your great backs didn't wear much equipment. You like to feel the defenders come at you, but Dickerson, as you stated, he wears everything, even rear pads. I mean, rear pads that quarterback normally wears. But I wore very little.
2nd down and 6. David Hill. 2 yards, and that's it. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Tina Turner was there covering David Hill.
Speaking of pads, I didn't even wear the hip pads, and when I first came into the league, it would cost me $100 a week because we had a coach that if you got hurt without hip pads, he would be very upset. So he fined all the players who didn't wear them, and I never wore it.
And you never got hurt, huh?
I never got hurt, not that year anyway.
3rd down and 3. Dickerson stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Keena Turner coming around the horn. He was there first, as he so often is.
Great play by Keena. He saw that they were trying to pull the offside guard and tackle, recognized it right away and got as much penetration as he could, and he got to the running back before the blockers could get to him.
A very impressive punting exhibition thus far on the night by Dale Hatcher, who's out there now for the Rams. McLemore is back. Hatcher puts it up high, looking for the coverage, and he's going to get it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Inside the 1-yard line, and again, the special teams of the Rams performing and excelling here tonight. They lead in so many categories in the NFL with their special teams. What an effort there.
44-yard kick from scrimmage.
Dale Hatcher, the rookie 3rd-round pick out of Clemson, having a big night. Vince Newsom hustled down there for the Rams, killed that ball inside the 1-yard line. Hatcher with good numbers, wearing about the only kind of padding that Dickerson doesn't have on tonight. The moon gloves to keep the hands warm. The temperature expected to drop into the low 40s tonight here in the Bay Area. On 1st down, Montana is back. Going deep to Rice. And there was contact made by Gary Green and Jerry Rice. The crowd won't like it, but both of them were looking for the football.
Well, I think that particular pass shows that Joe Montana can still get the football deep. It's been questioned all season long, but he just threw this ball about 57 yards in the air.
It was an excellent pass. Normally you want to throw that ball 3 yards from the sideline. Gary Green forced Rice to take an inside track instead of an outside track. If not, Rice may have been able to get to the ball.
Gary Green, still one of the finest cornerbacks around. 2nd and 10. Quick shot intended for Rice. Gary Green popped him. It's incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10. A reminder, Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, you'll see Donald Curry versus Milton McCrory for the undisputed world welterweight champions this Saturday. 3rd down and 10 for the 49ers. Just about midway through the 3rd quarter. Roger Craig bounces off tacklers out to the 4-yard line, and that will give Max Runninger a little bit of breathing room. They would have been forced to kick from a very tight formation, and they might have to kick from that formation even now. Runninger is not kicking well tonight.
Well, don't forget, many of those punts were from field goal range, so he wasn't going to get much distance on him.
Deep is Ellard. Runninger trying to kick it away from Ellard, and it takes a Ram bounce. And so the Rams will have great field position. They'll be inside the 42-yard line of the 49ers. For Runninger, again, not a good kick. This one at 36 yards, and that's when you want your punter to be able to really unleash one.
Well, he said it week in and week out. The importance of the kicking game is fantastic here in the NFL. And right now, the Rams have a decided edge in the kicking game over the whole league, as a matter of fact.
First and 10. Dieter Brock is back. Looking deep. Dead on stride.
Oh!
Saying he was out of bounds. That was Henry Ellard, and a beautifully thrown pass. Dwight Hicks and Carlton Williamson were both back there. The official saying that he was out of bounds. Now look at it as best we can from this angle. You can see the official right on it, and that foot detected on the line. So the 49ers dodge a bullet by inches. 7:18 remaining in the third quarter. The 49ers 13, the Rams 10. Second down and 10. Dieter Brock just throws it away. David Hill was the receiver in which he was trying to aim the ball, but Tina Turner was bearing down on Dieter Brock, and he had to get rid of it. Tina Turner, who last week, when the special teams really performed for the 49ers, went 65 yards with a Jay Schrader fumble against the Redskins after Fuller had hit Schrader. Third down and 10 now for the Rams. Good open field tackle. Dana McLemore, he can do more than just return punts.
Well, that's supposed to be a quick screen to the outside, but I didn't see one offensive player get out there to try and give him any blocking. It's obviously a poorly designed play.
49ers defense has now gone through 16 quarters without giving up a touchdown as McLemore goes back to perform his other chores. And Dale Hatcher comes on for the Rams. End over in punt. Fair catch called for by McLemore of a short kick by Hatcher. And the 49ers get it back. They'll have it near their own 18-yard line. 26-yard punt. Was the bullet the Rams 49ers dodged on that last offensive series of the Rams. That is Ellard. The right foot appears to be inbound from this angle of our replay. Now the question being whether or not Hicks, number 22, had made contact and forced the left foot out, which was obviously out. You have to come down, of course, with both of those feet inbounds. The referee right on top of it. 6:30 now remaining in the third quarter. It's the 49ers 13 and the Rams 10. Good football game. We hope you're enjoying. Lots of big plays and hitting all the way. On first down, Wendell Tyler. And a flag is down as Tyler is hit by Gary Green at the 20-yard line. Gain of a couple, and the 49ers are walking back towards their goal line. The referee Red Casham discusses the options with Carl Eckert.
Holding, number 71 on the offense, still first down.
Right tackle, Pro Bowler Keith Bonhorst, holding. Let's pause 5 seconds now and allow our stations to identify themselves.
This is Channel 7, KABC TV, Los Angeles.
So much on the line tonight. 49ers 8-5 in the NFC Western Division. The Rams are 9-4 in the NFC Western Division. First place tie if the 49ers can pull off the win tonight. But they have already defeated the Rams earlier in the year. 49ers have won 5 of the last 6. The Rams have lost 4 of their last 6, and Montana on 1st and 20 goes to Rice, and the rookie from Mississippi Valley State is having his biggest game as a 49er. The first-round pick. Johnny Johnson stopped him, but Rice on a 1st and 20 gets the first down for the 49ers.
Look at this game. Now, this is a kid who everyone predicted would be a superstar in this league. He started the season dropping many passes, not only dropping passes, but fumbling the ball after he caught a few passes. He seemed to have solved whatever problem he was having then, and he certainly looks as if he's going to be a superstar.
Well, we know he can catch it. He caught 103 a year ago for over 1,600 yards for Mississippi Valley State. On first down, Montana whips it out to Solomon. Solomon, nowhere to go. Dives for an extra yard. He gets 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Solomon's first reception thus far this evening. Solomon on the year, 24 receptions, 1 touchdown. Remember a year ago, Juice, 40 receptions, 10 touchdowns.
Yep, he was a home run hitter for this team, but Solomon's no kid anymore. They said he doesn't have the explosion anymore, but we'll see.
2nd down and 6. 49ers at their 36-yard line. Tyler works inside. Gets out close to the 39-yard line. He'll be short of the first down by a couple, and it will be 3rd down. And out comes the 4-down lineman for the Los Angeles Rams, as they, in all probability, will slide into their 4-1-6. Tyler, 28 tough yards on 6 carries. Craig. Great effort by Craig. In the arms of Nolan Cromwell, he gets up close to the 45-yard line. More importantly, he gets the 49er first down.
We've talked about it before. That play was made possible by leg drive. He's not having one of his better games, but when you can get a key first down like that at a time like this, it's a testimony to his heart and his fighting ability.
3:35 and the clock is moving, and that's the time remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Rice comes down with it again. 49er first down at the 42-yard line of the Rams, and the youngster is having a big night.
Good decision by Joe Montana that time. What Rice does, he simply runs a hook pattern while they're sending Roger Craig out in the flat. Joe Montana reads the linebacker, who was Mal Owens. Owens was concerned that time with Roger Craig, and that left Rice open.
Rice, 8 receptions, 169 yards, as you can see. But look at that average. Montana in trouble and was able to pull loose from a potential tackle. It was Wilcher, and get the ball in the direction of wide receiver Dwight Clark. Doug Reed was in on Montana also. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And Wilcher's become quite a blitzer. You know, he leads this team with 10.5 sacks. He's been getting to the quarterback most of the season.
On that last play, he went through Craig and John Ayers to put some pressure on Montana.
2nd and 10. That's Dwight Clark up at the top of your screen. Shovel pass underneath to Roger Craig. Craig, 49er first down.
Well, Joe, what do you think about it now?
That's a beautiful play. The old Utah pass, originated at the University of Utah.
Cactus Jack
simply
Curtis, wasn't it?
Right, running trap blocking up front. He didn't even have to trap Doug Reed that time. Doug took himself out of the play.
I guarantee you, you're going to get a lot of phone calls and letters saying, we did that way back when. We did. What do you mean, Utah? Well, Lee Grosskopf, of course, used to shovel that.
That's right, when he was at Utah. The former New York Titan quarterback.
And Giant. On first down. Roger Craig carrying Nolan Cromwell for yet another 49er first down. And what a strong, determined drive this is.
Well, you mentioned earlier, O.J., about the Rams liking to wear down their opponents with the running game. It looks like this offensive line of the 49ers is suddenly wearing down the Rams' defensive line.
Well, it's a testimony to Bill Walsh. You know, earlier when they went to their first Super Bowl back in that 81 season, they were a passing team. Well, Bill realized then they had to improve their running game, and now they're one of the better running teams in football.
The ball is at the Rams' 20-yard line. Tyler, he found an opening on the left side where John Ayers and Fred Quillen work. Collins pulls him down, but not until he picks up 7 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 3. A little more than a minute remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
When you think about Bill Walsh learning the running game, you wonder about John Robinson if he'll spend this offseason concentrating purely on the passing game, because he obviously knows the running game better than any coach, or as well as any coach.
Well, they should use Dickerson a heck of a lot more in the passing game.
2nd and 3. Craig saw a little bit of daylight, tried to break it back inside. He ran right into Doug Reed, held short of the 1st down by about a yard.
That was a case,
down and 1.
Frank, that was a case of seeing the right hole, going to the right place, but unfortunately, Russ Francis didn't stay with his block. He was with it long enough, but if he could have stayed with it a little longer, possibly Craig would have been in the end zone.
49ers will not get a playoff before time expires here in the 3rd quarter. And what an ovation for the 49ers offensive unit. But the Rams are playing them tough. We begin the 4th quarter. The 49ers leading the Los Angeles Rams 13-10. The 49ers have a 3rd down and about a yard, and they have brought in their own version of the refrigerator. As a matter of fact, they invented it in the NFC Championship game against the Bears. This is Guy McIntyre. He's in there along with Wendell Tyler. And thus far, he has not carried the football or been a receiver, such as William Parry with the Bears, but he's the big man and provides the block, the lead block for Wendell Tyler. 3rd down is 3, actually less than a yard. Tyler inside the 10, he'll have the 1st down.
I don't know. I kind of think the refrigerator has a better stance, Juice, you know?
Yeah, I think he's a little quicker off the blocks. Got a little more style, too.
Does better on the talk shows.
As you can see, he really didn't follow the block on that play. Simple dive, good enough for the 1st down.
Boy, this is the kind of a drive that coaches love. This is the 12th play of this drive. And remember, way back when they had a 1st down and 20? And Montana and Rice hooked up to get the 1st down. 1st down once again, Roger Craig getting in there low, driving, powerful legs down to the 5-yard line. It'll be 2nd down, goal to go.
If you want to teach a back how to run, I think what you should do is get a film of Roger Craig and just watch him, because technically he is about as sound as you can have a running.
That's the Rams' Nolan Cromwell. Going off the field unassisted. Vince Newsom, number 22, has replaced him. Crowd into a chant here at Candlestick Park. 2nd down, goal to go. Craig turns back into the traffic and gets a yard and a half out of that. It'll be 3rd down, goal to go. Jim Collins there with the initial hit, and one would suspect that Montana, as Bill Walsh puts Dwight Clark back into the game, will be putting the ball in the air. Rice is also coming back in. The 2 wide receivers, Clark and Rice, are available to Montana.
I think I'd run that funny draw play they ran before.
Oh, no.
Picked off. Johnny Johnson, or rather Newsom, who had just replaced Cromwell. He's made 2 big plays tonight. Stopped the 49ers and put them at the 1-yard line on the punt. And now he comes down with the interception. Bad judgment on the part of Montana.
You said it, Frank. That was a bad pass, bad judgment. Not only do we turn the ball over, but they lose 3 points. He's well covered. The defender's right underneath him. Of course, Joe had a little bit of pressure, but he should have thrown the ball straight out of the end zone.
Well, Russ Francis had his hand up. Russ Francis is 6'6", and I think he was trying to throw a modified alley-oop pass.
On the interception in the end zone, the Rams get the football back on the touchback at the 20. Dickerson colliding with Michael Carter, and you can hear it all the way up here.
I don't know, Juice. It looks like he's cutting back a little early.
There is Newsom.
There's Newsom with the interception. Well, that was a cutback, but one of his former teammates, SMU against SMU, Michael Carter, say, hey, take that. Yeah, he may be cutting back a little early. You're not as sharp. He's not as sharp as he was last year, but he's also not getting the blocking that he got last year.
A gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. The Rams at their own 22. Oh, and Ellard took his eyes off that football. It was perfectly thrown by Dieter Brock. Ellard was looking for a defender or a gap between the defenders, and that could have been a big gainer.
And that's what Dieter Brock has to do. Every opportunity he gets, when he sees one-on-one to the outside with Ron Brown or Ellard, he should take advantage of it. Even on 1st down, if you have a running play on, and the 49ers will play the Rams defensively, expecting to run on 1st down, he should audibilize to the outside.
Dickerson out, Redden in. That's been the pattern on the passing game for the Rams tonight.
Dickerson should never be out.
Dieter Brock, he had to hurry that pass and was beautifully thrown and connected up with Ellard for the 1st down. Brock was really under pressure there, and he was able to get it out.
I like Dieter. I tell you, he's tough. He works hard. Coach Robinson really likes him. Again, I think the offense is a bit archaic, but this is an example of what kind of strength he has in his arm, too. He was falling backwards, and he got the ball to the outside.
He's 6 feet, 195 pounds, and that was all arm, and he had something on it. The Rams keep their drive alive out to their 37-yard line. Ellard now 6 receptions, 60 yards. Dangerous pass to Tony Hunter. Only picks up a couple of yards. Todd Shell was right out there with him.
I was yelling, no, don't throw it. Shell was with him all the way. Dieter, it appeared that he had his mind made up before he read the defense and who he was going to throw the ball to. Pretty good stats, 13 out of 18, huh?
2nd down and 8. Dickerson, look out. Dickerson had to make the cutback into the middle of the field, and Eric Wright ran him down, but he made a good move to get away from Ronnie Lott up at the 30-yard line on Dickerson's 41-yard pickup, and Dickerson is limping off the field.
Well, we were wondering why the Rams didn't run him a little more, mainly because they weren't blocking, but since they've been out in the 2nd half, the front line has been doing a good job for Eric, and sooner or later, Eric Dickerson is going to do something to help his ball club. I'm a little surprised that Eric Wright was able to catch Eric in that situation.
Eric Wright fell on that left leg, and Dickerson limped off. The Rams have a 1st and 10. The 20-yard line of the 49ers. Dieter Brock looking for Brown in the end zone. Dieter Brock was leveled as he released it. John Hardy was right in Brock's face. There's Dickerson. He's rubbing the left knee. Eric Wright collapsed right on that left leg. As Dickerson, with 41 yards, got his 2nd longest run of this season. A season that started with the holdout that carried into the opening of the season. 2nd and 10. Dieter Brock adjusting his offensive lineup. Barry Redden into Todd Shell and Williamson.
Once again, it was Keena Turner that stopped that play, really. He didn't make the tackle, but he got enough penetration once he recognized the play was coming at him to take out all the interference. He came right across the line of scrimmage, took out the guard and the tackle, and he left the runner naked, Barry Redden naked with no blockers.
3rd down and 10. And they missed. Conversion looms larger. Tony Hunter short of the 1st down, but not by much. It'll be 4th down as Carlton Williamson is up there to make the stop. And out comes Lansford for what will be an attempt to tie it up. Lansford into tonight 17 of 22. He hit earlier on a 25-yard field goal in the 2nd quarter. A 29-yard attempt. Steve Dills will put it down. As it should be. It's such a critical game. We are all tied with 9:32 remaining in the game. The word on Eric Dickerson is that he has a stiff left knee. And if you were with us a few moments ago, he broke loose on a 41-yard scamper, and he was hit from behind by Eric Wright, who rolled up that left leg. But the word also is that he will be back. Lansford to kick off. Carl Monroe is deep with Derek Harmon for the 49ers. Monroe into the stack at the 24-yard line. And out comes the Rams defensive unit. Again, the 49ers won the first meeting down in Anaheim over the Rams, 28-14. If they win tonight, they will tie the Rams in the NFC Western Division. But the first tiebreaker, should they remain tied throughout the remaining 2 games, is head-to-head competition. The 49ers obviously would win that one. On 1st down, Roger Craig. Craig 2, perhaps 3, out near the 27-yard line. There's Mike Lansford, who not at this game at 13. Make it 2nd down and 7.
Well, I tell you, if I was a Ram, Jerry Rice wouldn't beat me. I'd be double teaming Jerry.
Nolan Cromwell has come back in defensively for the Rams, so he appears to be all right. Rice is split to the left. Rice is open. Irvin laying well off Rice. Rams in a zone defense, and Montana and Rice picked it up beautifully.
Well, this is the identical play that he caught for the hook pattern the last time. Craig went in the flat to the left and pulled number 27 off Rice, left him open, Gary Green.
That's 9 receptions now for 189 yards. For Rice, big night. Roger Craig. Oh, good tackle by Irvin. There'll be a loss on the play of a yard. Leroy Irvin.
One of the reasons the Rams feel that Leroy Irvin is their best cornerback, not only does he have 6 interceptions, but he has improved himself in his ability to come up and make plays like that. Tackle the runner. He did a good job of avoiding Bubba Paris, number 77, and making a tackle for a 1-yard loss.
Carl Monroe in the backfield now for the 49ers, number 32. 2nd and 11. Montana changing it off. Reads the blitz. He wants to go deep. Rice to the 1-yard line. Montana with a great change at the line of scrimmage. Read the blitz. Knew there'd be one-on-one coverage. Got Jerry Gray one-on-one with the rookie speedster from Mississippi Valley State.
Double team this man. That was simply a speed pattern. It's almost a fly pattern. It's a post pattern, but he ran it like a fly pattern. No one got in front of him.
You know, Montana had to love it, Juice. They've been critical of his ability to go deep for a long time here in San Francisco.
Yep. I tell you what, I wouldn't let Jerry beat me.
What a night. And the youngster was very upset early in the year. We talked about it earlier. Very sensitive to the drops. That's a new 49er record, by the way, for yardage. As Craig hurdles up over the top. And we do not get the hands raised for the touchdown, so Craig is short. But he was dropping passes, was Jerry Rice, earlier in the year, and he really got uptight about it. He need never worry anymore. He just set a new 49er receiving yardage record.
Well, Joe, this may be the time you had made mention of the fact that you've never seen so many quarterback draws. The way the Rams have been able to penetrate not only on PATs, but on short yardage situation, I think I'd quarterback sneak it.
Guy McIntyre, the offensive guard, is in there ahead of Roger Craig. And again, Craig does not get in.
Well, you know, those quarterback sneaks are really a quarterback option, more or less. If he sees that he's not covered by a linebacker, if the linebackers are over the... Let's check out this offensive and defensive line surge here.
Look at this.
Looks like the Rams line won the battle that time.
I tell you what, if you were closer to the line of scrimmage, the backs are coming from too far to try to get this with the way the Rams are playing defense.
Third down goal. That was Wiltshire who made the stop. Penetrating deep. Montana fires back across the middle. It's complete. It goes to Roger Craig. And the flag is down, but the penalty apparently is going to work against the Rams.
Holding on the defense. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Roger Craig, his 13th touchdown this season. That ties the San Francisco club record held by Joe Perry. We're going to look at it from the reverse angle. Very cool work here by Montana. He was in deep trouble, and he looks back across the field in a dangerous pass, Joe.
Dangerous, but it got there this time.
You can't let Montana roll to his right. Gary Green's job was to keep him from getting outside to his right, but unfortunately, he got blocked.
Worshing. Stood in the uprights. 5:38. Still a lot of football to be played here at Candlestick Park. We'll be back with the action in just a moment. We hope you've been with us throughout the evening. If you have not, you have missed some great football. The 49ers and the Rams are playing for first place in the NFC's Western Division. 2 games remaining on the season. Joe Montana has thrown for 3 touchdown passes. We have seen an 86-yard touchdown kickoff return by Ron Brown. Look at those numbers for Montana. A youngster named Jerry Rice has been absolutely brilliant tonight. Over 240 yards receiving. The lead has changed hands 3 different times, and with 5:38 remaining in the game, the 49ers lead once again 20-13. Ron Brown from the goal line. And he is electric. Wow. He turns on that speed, and this time Brown moves out close to the 35-yard line. They'll mark it near the 34. Carl Monroe tripped him up, but he had the afterburner kicked in, Juice.
Oh, I tell you, every time you think somebody's getting ready to hit him, he's about 5 yards beyond them. This guy can absolutely fly.
The gold medalist in the 4x100 relay in the 1984 Olympics. Out of Arizona State, he played most of his career in college as a defensive back. First and 10 Rams. Dieter Brock tries to get it to Tony Hunter, and flags fly, and we will get the pass interference call at midfield.
Pass interference. Number 27 on the defense. First down.
Carlton Williamson working against Tony Hunter. We'll take a look at it from the reverse angle, and this is about the best way we'll be able to see it. Dieter Brock fired the shot. There's the contact made by Carlton Williamson. Tony Hunter, of course, acquired this year from the Bills. And quite an asset. Dieter Brock is back again on first down. This is Dickerson. Dickerson out of bounds, driven out of bounds by Ronnie Lott, short of the first down.
That may be the best play of the night, Joe.
Hey, use him in the passing game. He has good hands.
As I said, he caught 51 passes in his rookie year, and a guy who is as dangerous as he is in a broken field situation, I would never have him off the football field.
60,581 here at Candlestick Park, and they are jammed in. It's the second largest crowd in Candlestick Park's history. 2nd and 1. Brock fighting the crowd to change the play. That's what he wanted. Ellard in and out of the hands of Dwight Hicks. Touchdown Rams. What a football game. Great concentration by Ellard. Hicks almost picked it off. 39-yard touchdown pass and a great changeup by Dieter Brock. But then the 49ers changed defensively, and they went to double coverage.
Yeah, they definitely had Dieter fooled, because you see Ronnie Lott playing the interception, just didn't get there. And Ellard, been ever alert, picked off the bounce.
Dwight Hicks, when he was lying on the turf, thought he had it. And all of a sudden, Ellard just plucked it away from him. 5:08 remaining. What a football game. Back and forth, and so much at stake. One of the officials has been shaken up. That's why we are slow getting the conversion attempt. And there is Ellard. Not only a great return man, but into the night, and still the leading receiver for the Rams. Second round pick in '83, and has really developed. First touchdown the San Francisco defense has given up since the Denver game, the Snow Bowl game. Lansford. And we're tied up once again. We'll be back at Candlestick Park in just a moment. How important are the special teams without the block conversion attempt in the third quarter by the Rams, Sean Miller, following a 49er touchdown? 49ers would be leading by 1 rather than having a tied football game at 20 with 5:08 remaining. Mike Lansford to kick. There's Derek Harmon. Then Carl Monroe deep for the Niners. Carl Monroe from the 5-yard line. Out to the 23-yard line. Hit by Sean Miller. We're going to take a look at that touchdown pass. Dieter Brock to Ellard from the reverse angle. And I think really the 49ers had kind of lured Brock into the change. He thought he was going to get man-for-man coverage. They changed off the 49ers, and you could see Hicks thought it was going to come right into his hands, and Ellard, with a lot of presence, plucked it right out of his hands. Ellard now 7 receptions, 99 yards. The reverse to Rice. And Rice loses the football, but promptly covers it. Close to a first down. Derry Jeter on that stop.
Hey, Joe Montana just threw one of the best blocks I've seen all year long. He cut down Mike Wilcher, number 54, the linebacker for the Rams, beautifully. And that particular block enabled Rice to gain the yardage.
Remember in the second quarter when Wilcher almost put Montana out of the game, came in on the blitz?
That's right. Joe said, I'm going to get even with you. Grr. You watch Joe Montana here on the right of your screen, and you'll see him cut down number 54 right there.
And that set up the first down by Rice. Wendell Tyler on 1st and 10 out over the 35 to the 36-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Later tonight on Nightline, victims of rape say being named in the media can be as traumatic as the crime itself. Many victims say they have a right to privacy, but others contend that rape should be treated like any other crime. That tonight on Nightline here on ABC. 3:47. The clock is moving, remaining in the game. We are tied at 20. 49ers at their own 36-yard line, looking over a 2nd down and 7. Montana picked off. Green, Gary Green. Montana looked out to Craig. Craig was covered, tried to get it to Monroe in a hasty fashion. The ball bounced into the air, and Gary Green was there. 41-yard return. This Ram football team you have to admire. They were miserable in the first quarter, -2 yards on offense. Their defense, however, held together. They started putting it together in the second quarter. The third quarter, they came out for real, and now they have taken the lead. The fourth time the lead has changed here tonight. Lansford for the conversion.
Boy, this stadium has gotten quiet.
Rams lead 27-20. And there is Gary Green, Pro Bowler with Kansas City until he was traded to the Rams last year. It's Montana. He'll look to his left, sees Craig. Craig is covered. Now he whips one back to the middle. Monroe is there, bounces up into the air and right into the arms of Gary Green. And then 41 yards later, it's a Ram touchdown.
A pass that very well should have been completed with a decent catch by Monroe turns into 7 points for the other team.
Let's take a look at Monroe. They wanted to get him into the game a lot tonight because of the sore and troublesome knee of Wendell Tyler. There's one that should have been caught. You remember Monroe caught the first touchdown pass of the Super Bowl game. He did not handle that one, and Gary Green returned it 41 yards for the touchdown. The Rams on top.
Well, it would have been a good catch. The ball was pretty high, but he still got his hands on the ball. And when you're throwing over the middle and you put the ball high to the receiver, that's the risk you're taking. Those tipped, deflected balls are going to fall in the defender's hands most of the time.
Lansford, short kick. Derek Harmon at the 15. Out of bounds, but not until he reaches the 31-yard line. And the 49ers offensive unit comes back out onto the field. They had a little get-together on the sidelines, did this offensive unit of the 49ers. And here comes the man that they depend upon to get him back in it. And he's having a whale of a night.
He sure is. And this 49ers philosophy in the past was just get us the ball last. If we have the ball last, we will score. And it appears as if they may have the ball last, and they need to score just to tie the game up.
49ers best field position here in the second half. First and 10. Montana steps into the pocket. In and out of the hands of Dwight Clark. He was well covered by Leroy Irvin.
Well covered. You know, that offensive philosophy, a team philosophy about getting me the football last sounds like the team we watched last night, the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, 54-44 sounds more like a border dispute. It really does. That was wild and against the Pittsburgh Steelers. San Diego figures to play that way offensively. Sadly, often they play that way defensively. Second and 10. This is Monroe. And Carl Monroe over the 35 to the 36. He'll get 6 yards out of that to bring up a 3rd down and 4. Gary Jeter made the stop.
Now this is going to get real interesting because with Dickerson in the backfield and the Rams' ability to run the ball, and they certainly have run the ball more effectively in the second half, you're under 3 minutes. Is it time? We may not have to decide this, but is it time to go to 4 downs? It's 3rd down. If they don't get it, I think they still may go for it.
3rd and 4. Monroe. If they mark it where he was, he'll have the 1st down, and they do. Collins hit him and drilled him back. Monroe is not all that large in stature, 5'8", and 180 pounds, but he was there for the 1st down when he first received the ball. .213. And Montana will be hard-pressed to get this play off before the 2-minute warning. He does. Roger Craig covering up the football at the 45-yard line. He eases for about 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 at the 2-minute warning. The 49ers have 3 timeouts remaining. This tonight, because this has been a thing of beauty. The 49ers and the Rams, they've played some classics over the years, and this one will go right down with the best of them. The 49ers, with 2 minutes remaining and trailing the Rams 27-20, have the football at their own 45-yard line. It's 2nd down and 7. It's been a spectacular night for many players, but certainly for a rookie named Jerry Rice of the 49ers. And how about Gary Green with his interception, return for the touchdown to take the lead for the Rams. Montana goes down under pressure. Mike Wilcher provided the pressure. Montana just went to the ground. He was not even hit, but he knew he would be hit.
Well, that's a shame by the 49ers because they had 2 men, Derek Harmon, number 24, and John Ayers, number 68, both working on Mike Wilcher. You have to give Mike credit. He worked his way through those 2 guys and was able to at least put enough pressure on Montana to send him down.
Montana used one of his 3 timeouts. Over now with Bill Walsh. Team.
You know, Wilcher will get credit for that sack. He did get a hand on Joe's helmet. That's all he did.
Jerry Rice, what a night. Just incredible. 2nd highest total in the NFL this season. The 2nd highest total by a rookie in NFL history. And I'm not certain, but I think Jerry Butler did that against the Jets back in '79. He also has carried the football, rushed the football twice tonight for 14 yards. But it could go for naught if the 49ers can't keep things happening. They have a 3rd down and 14. The ball at their own 37-yard line.
Double team Jerry Rice, whatever you do.
Montana will be sacked and the ball is loose. And is covered by Gary Jeter. Gary Jeter knocked the ball loose. And the Rams get it back.
Well, you got to give the Rams credit. They've done it every way you can do it.
Montana stepped back into the pocket. Watch 77. The former USC All-American, #1 draft pick for the Giants. Traded to these Rams 3 years ago. Had back surgery in the offseason, and he had just made the biggest sack of his career.
Well, this is the way the Rams was winning earlier in the year. If you look at the stats, you look at their offensive stats, you say they shouldn't have won the game, but they did it with mirrors. The night they did it with special teams mainly. And, of course, the defense came up with a couple of big plays. And when they were 7-0, that's how they got to be 7-0.
Randy Cross limped off after that play. And if the Rams can hold this together with 1:45 remaining, they will have clinched at least a wild card playoff spot. And there's Gary Jeter. Used to roller skate with Gary Jeter back in New York. And he was whistling on that last play. Dickerson. His job, work on the clock. To the 27-yard line, a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
I recruited Gary Jeter to USC, and it was
easy for you to say.
Yeah. Before the game, he said, "Say hello to my mother for me." I said, "Well, you do something good, and I'll say hello to her. So let me say hello to Mrs. Jeter, because Gary did something good."
If the Giants win their next 2, that would mean they would have to defeat New Orleans on the road and Dallas here in their final game. The Rams would have to lose their next 2. That would put them back into a tie. And the 49ers would win it on the 2nd tiebreaker. 1-loss percentage within the division. But that's wishful thinking. 2nd and 6. Dickerson. First down inside the 20-yard line. That's what he's there for. In case you might have missed it, Dickerson and the Rams agreed to a new 4-year contract today. He was in the final year of one that paid him some $550,000 a year. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Ford and your local Ford dealers. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Bud and perhaps, well, it should be. At the collapse of the Rams. After they had gone 7 straight and then lost 4 out of 6, but they have come back tonight in great fashion. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Rune Arledge. ABC NFL Monday Night Football produced by Bob Goodrich, directed by Chester Forty. Technical director Joe Chavo, associate director Vince D'Addario. First down and 10. 49ers have no timeout. Dickerson inside the 5-yard line. Dwayne Board brings him down from behind.
Well, with that run, Dickerson goes over 1,000 yards. That may not be the accomplishment it once was with 16 games, but I remind you, this is the 14th game.
What a tremendous 3 years already. He missed the first 2 games, of course. We caught him in his first game back in action against Seattle. He went for 150 yards there. In the other games that we have watched him, he had 138 yards against Dallas, 146 and 145 against Atlanta. So he does pretty good on Monday nights.
The good thing, he wears all